Welcome back to Hiking with Kathleen. In today's video, I've got some really incredible wildlife footage, including things you never thought chipmunks would be seen eating. But also there's lots of bird activity that's going on right now. So stay tuned for all of that and more on today's hike. So I'm out here along the river, and this is a great spot to be able to observe all kinds of things. There are many mussels where the shells are all that remains, so the meat has been eaten by a predator. I see some debris that looks like it's raccoon scat. The other thing is there's all kinds of eastern spiny softshell turtles, and those are turtles that are not common. They are plentiful along the Thames River, so it seems to have the right kind of nutrients, the right kind of food for the eastern spiny softshell, and it appears to be, it's clean enough to support their population. So I'm quite delighted to be able to see them, because I don't get to see them anywhere else. So this is a really nice area that I'm now taking a look at and exploring, because this is about a week and a half after the water, after we got that tremendous rainfall that's in last week's video. And so now things are returning to normal. So yeah, I'm just exploring along this area here, and it's been really rewarding this morning. At first glance, that log looks like it's big enough to support 3 turtles. But when you have a closer look, that eastern spiny softshell turtle to the left has ample room, but those 2 map turtles don't seem to think it's big enough for both of them. One of them has to go. I was wrapping up my hike, just coming back from the river, and I could hear the buzzing of a cicada. But it didn't sound like it was buzzing that was coming from a treetop, which is what they do in order to attract their mate. It was coming from lower, closer to the ground. And so I had a closer look, and I saw a chipmunk, so I thought, I'm going to use my binoculars and see what that chipmunk is up to. That chipmunk was eating a cicada that was still alive. And so that buzzing was coming from that one, desperately trying to get away from the chipmunk. And then I had a closer look, and I realized there were 2 cicadas, and they were probably mating on the log right near the chipmunk. And so the chipmunk proceeded to eat cicada number 1, and then moved on to cicada number 2 when it finished. So I would imagine that that eastern chipmunk is probably very full. Anyway, that was just incredible timing. I didn't know that they ate cicadas. I figured, yeah, they would be opportunistic feeders, not just eating food that we would typically expect a herbivore to eat. Protein is something that insects will provide for them, and that's why that was just an opportunistic meal. So that was really interesting timing. So today what I did is I was out on a day trip, and I went to visit a friend of mine, Rolf, who's got this beautiful property. I've been here before, and I love it because it's got not only a woodlot, but it's got a creek, and so you get the possibilities of all kinds of wildlife living here. In fact, when I was making my way down to the creek today, I heard the same sound, which is the alarm sound given by a deer. Sounds like a sigh in a sense. And if you had a chance to see that in 2 videos ago, I'll link that below, so you have a chance to hear what that's like. I wasn't able to film that, but that meant that the deer were aware of my presence as I was making my way through the trails leading to the creek. And this is out in the county, so they get hunted here, so they have a long memory in terms of how or what they need to run away from. But there's all kinds of wildlife activity going on here. And as for me, I'm just really happy to capture whatever presents itself to me. So I'm going to keep working away at that, and I'm going to continue to bring you along and see what kind of wildlife we can come up with today. You know, when I was making my way back up from the creek, there were toads jumping out of my way. There was actually a toad that jumped into the water to escape being stepped on. So the good thing is the creek, although it is flowing through an agricultural area, showing signs of good health when it houses amphibians, because amphibians are a bit of a barometer of the health of the water and the surrounding wetland. And by that, what I mean is, although they have lungs, they also respire through their skin. So they are animals that take in the toxins, and then that will ultimately kill them. So one thing that I would caution you about is if you go out into the woods and you put on bug repellent and find it fascinating to pick up wildlife, that is a really toxic mix to be able to touch any form of wildlife if you've got insect repellent on your hands, because that could be absorbed into their skin and therefore subsequently cause their death. So that's why, you know, as much as I make my way through the woods, I also don't pick up things, even though I don't wear bug repellent. I just, I want to stress the animals as little as possible, so I just film them, pass by them, and just leave them undisturbed. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that bug repellent might keep the bugs at bay from your skin, but it might be fatal to an animal if you're touching them with bug repellent on your skin, on your hands. Anyway, I'm going to continue hiking along. After spending the morning exploring Rolf's beautiful property, well, it was time for me to head home. Thanks a lot for joining me on today's hike. If you enjoyed it, please click like. If you haven't subscribed yet and you don't want to miss future episodes, consider subscribing. Take care. See you next Tuesday morning. Bye for now.